PhD has an intense, great idea, and a niche, and a niche, having a business person be able to understand what that niche is, what that vision that technologist or that PhD has for this niche, and be able to turn that into a reasonable business plan or commercialization plan, is important. So it's that connection between the PhD who has this great idea, which is complicated, and the business person who's trying to solve or figure out where that would be sold and how it would be sold. We talk about software. It's pretty hard to sell a software algorithm to somebody. I mean, you can do it, but it's a difficult sell. Okay, so there's I think there's that match between how do you commercialize a product and make money, and wow, this is a great niche market for technologists. And the other thing I find, especially with PhDs, they live in a world of complexity. They're working within a world of complexity. One of the most elegant things to do is to be able to bring some elegant simplicity out of that, so that you can teach a business person what your niche is. Because so often, when I first started this job 5 years ago, I would work with PhDs and they would intimidate me because I didn't understand what the hell they were talking about, and I thought it was me. But over years, over a few years, it's your job as a PhD and technologist to get me, layperson, to understand what the hell you're doing, because the only way I'm going to help you, and it's the only way you're going to sell your product. And I think that's a big thing in all of that. So I think when I talk to entrepreneurs that are setting up their businesses, I always ask the question: so where are you looking to go? What's your thought process? Where do you want to end up with this? And the question is, do you want to maintain? Do you want to stay as a researcher? Do you want to stay as an MD doctor? Or do you want to jump off and become an entrepreneur? So the first step is sort of, where do you want to go with your idea, with your technology? Starting a business is starting a new entity. It's like having a child. It's going to be something that you're going to stay with and stick with. Once you know where you're going, I think the next step, so you have a goal. What the goal is, what exit strategy? An exit strategy is, what am I going to do with this business in order to cash out, per se. That's not always important. If I'm interested in starting a business and staying with it and making a living off of it and employing people with it and keeping a company, the PhD or postdoc would be working on something or in an area that could be commercialized. If there's some hope for commercialization of the technology and or the science that they're researching, then I think it's very viable to partner up, go to some pitch contests, and go to look at various entrepreneurial clubs. And I think the best thing to do is connect up with an MBA student or with an MBA that has some experience in business, to discuss what they may have to bring to market. I think the best step for any technologist, PhD, postdoc that has an idea that may be commercialized, is to make a connection with someone in the business world who's looking for something to commercialize. There are two completely different disciplines, and the one can't do what the other can't. Basically they're both in search of one another. So really the connection becomes, hey, I just got my MBA and I've been dabbling in business, and I would really love to get a business going, a technology business going, but I don't have a technology. And then there's the technologist or the PhD postdoc that says, geez, I've got this situation, I've been researching and on and on and on, but I can't get a tenured job. I would love to bring this to market or work with somebody. That's the connection that I think you want to make. I think getting right to the point of how do you what's the value proposition? So that's a kind of a buzzword. So what's the value proposition? At the end of the day, is somebody's going to, in order for you to make a business out of this that makes money, somebody has to consume what you have. So I think looking at that consumer, the end consumer, and how you plan to get your product from where it is to the hands of that end consumer. And then, there's the complex issues of, whether or not it's a profitable. Okay, so I can say I'm going to sell trips to moon for $100 a seat. And obviously we're not going to be able to get there from here. So we really need to think about who is my consumer. It's what does it cost to make the product, or what does it cost to bring the product to market, and how much are you going to charge for the product? And does the math work where you're going to make money? So if I look at grants, typical grants, we look at the SBIR grants, we look at local economic development grants, grants that are available from foundations. We're looking for an endpoint. We're looking for an advancement in something. So what good is an SBIR? It advances innovation. It advances research. It's high risk grants that are high risk that got that puts the United States ahead of others because it invests in its engineers and its technologists. Same with economic grants, grants that you could get for building a building in a local area. That's do that so we can do economic development. So grants are available for those kinds of things. When you look at the world of business, and it's not about anything else but making money. So there may be a core or a cultural core within your business that says we make money by having fun, we make money through love, we make money through all these things. At the end of the day, the board of directors and the stockholders expect the board of directors to make money. Actually, it's a fiduciary responsibility in a corporation to make money. So it's all about making money in the business world, and it's all about moving things forward in the grant world. PhDs tend to be individual. They're individuals. They find they're able to communicate outside of themselves as well as a good MBA person who's learned that it's about the team. It's about a team work. It's about bringing in the importance of marketing, the importance of understanding a marketplace. I work with a lot of PhDs that just really just want to gloss over that commercialization plan. They just want to say, oh yeah, I'm going to go out to get VC money. And they don't understand the process of getting VC money. How do you intrigue an investor? What's an investor looking for? How are they, what is that, talked about exit strategy, what is that exit strategy they're really looking for? What's the buzzwords that an investor's looking for? And I think PhDs tend to get into their technologies and they stay there. You can't get them out. And I think it's important that they can get out of that rut and talk about what they do in a very simplistic manner, allowing business people to put that into a context of capitalism, make money. I was a PhD and I had a great technology and I was looking to start a business. And I needed to raise some funding. You can have the greatest technology in the world. How you're going to bring it to market and who is going to actually do that with you. Investors are going to be weary of getting involved. My take on it is investors are in it to make money. So their investors is just basically saying, I'm going to give you some money and I'm going to invest my money, I'm going to get a return on investment. So they bring a technology to market where it fits in the marketplace, and the technologist has a good understanding and or has teamed up with someone that has a good understanding of how you're going to commercialize the product. That means you're going to prototype the product, but then you're going to basically have to manufacture it and or scale it. You're going to have to market it. We're going to have to get an exit strategy. In other words, we're going to build a business, and we're going to make some money at the end of the tunnel. So in 1986, I started a business in the pharmaceutical industry, in robotics, and it was basically a company that was going to get into quality control of pharmaceutical products. And we did some, pretty successful. We made some pretty successful equipment. We went into the Japanese market, and we ended up basically marketing through Waters Corporation. So exit strategy is: am I going to partner with a company, the large pharma company, a large bio company, or wherever your technology would fit? Are we going to attract those kind of companies, and then are we going to basically work a licensing deal, or an acquisition type of thing? So